Hello everyone, welcome to today's webinar. My name is Hayley Simpson and my role is the Software Sales Coordinator. Please feel free to contact me at haylesympson@bridgeways.com. Today's MVP, Simon Skinner, who is also our CTO, will be demoing the Tibanna, focusing only on alert to ticket to change management. So before I hand you over to Simon, again, please feel free to contact me after the webinar. Also, if you do have any questions, there is a little question box on your screen sharing, so feel free to enter any questions in there. And here's Simon.
Hi, thanks for that, Hayley. So my name's Simon Skinner. I'm a Microsoft MVP. I'm going to run you through this presentation today. Let's just run through a couple of PowerPoint slides here, just so we can get an understanding of who we are at Bridgeways. In the presentation, it will a quick introduction, which I'm doing now. Tibanna. It's not actually a Tibanna Plus overview. Going to be looking at some features and benefits, and this is predominantly around our ticketing and newly launched change management system. We'll also be having a quick look at how Tibanna works, going into the live demonstration, and at the end we can have some questions. So Bridgeways is a leader in extending System Center Operations Manager, third-party applications and systems, including VMware, Oracle databases, and some more. And we're kind of, as a company, focusing on VMware and databases as a whole. Some of the LAMP stack, but Oracle, a product called InterSystems Cache, which is predominantly used by financial and healthcare marketplace, DB2, MySQL, etc. We're also one of the founding members of the System Center Alliance. So what is Tibanna? Well, it's a cloud-based SaaS multi-tenant, multi-tier monitoring solution, accessible via a web portal. It's accessible from anywhere at any time, and you'll be able to get that on any kind of mobile device as well. One portal will resize for you. It's proactive. It's an affordable enterprise level monitoring. So I'm going to go into that a little bit more detail. So I'm going to probably skip that slide. Tibanna Plus, we're not actually talking about Tibanna Plus today, so I'm going to skip past this slide, but I'll give a very, 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 very high view. Tibanna Plus is where we give you access to your own SCOM console if you want to be able to do some of your own tweaks. That may be used by people that specifically have asked for that, or by a larger MSP, and they want to do some authoring of their own, and they still take advantage of the Tibanna portal itself. So again, I'll skip this slide because we're not really on focus for that. Quick overview, enterprise level monitoring. It is SCOM underneath the scenes, although we present it in a way where it's not SCOM. It doesn't look like SCOM. It doesn't really feel like SCOM at all, and it shouldn't really be considered as a SCOM substitute. It is just that we're using SCOM as an engine, but then we're doing some slightly different and fantastic things with it, and we'll go through that in the diagram in a minute. It's secure. Obviously, it uses PKI infrastructure and some other Microsoft technologies that secure that. So this is the slide I really want to get to. So let's just have a quick view of what Tibanna looks like. So it's a hybrid solution. We have servers in North America Azure. That's in various sites of the North America Azure, stretching from the West Coast across to the East Coast, in Europe, and in Azure as well, Azure in Asia. Then we have our what we call Mid-01. It's called Mid-01 because that was its beta name, and we never actually got around to changing the name, and eventually we just kept it at that. And that's a middleware that we've written, and then underneath that we have multiple layers of SCOM management groups. So I think currently we have somewhere around about 70 management groups in our live environment, and they act as one. The way that Mid-01 interprets that, it just looks like it's all coming from one place. Mid-01 takes care of that. This gives us a couple of advantages. First of all, it gives us failover, and we're doing that from an agent level. So we've written some logic into the agent, so you're not relying on Active Directory, which is not present. But we've got other ways of dealing with failover. But if you've got things like a computer of the same name, then mid-01 will automatically allocate it to a management group. So to put it into context, if you have 10 servers monitored by us, they could actually be in 10 different management groups. We take care of that for you. We take care of the installation of the agent onto the endpoint. We have a package that goes around the SCOM agent and will do a soft touch installation. So you don't need to worry about certificates. We'll take care of all of that for you. And then underneath there, we have various other servers that do other aspects for us, processing SDK mainly. And then we have rather hefty multiple always on SQL servers underneath that, so we can assure that the data is getting to the SQL as quick as possible. Anyone that knows SCOM will know that the temp DB is where the bottleneck is going to be, and we get around that with a bit of secret sauce. So let's go to a live demo. So I'm actually going to just close down this and go to I brought up two environments. I've got a v2 tibanna.com, which is strictly our internal dev. It's slightly above beta. And I've got another environment here called bw.tibanna.com, which is the Bridgeway's personal internal instance in our live environment. So just to set the scene here, because I just really want to focus on alerts to ticket to change management. How do we get an alert? We have computers are monitored. Those computers will go to generate an alert, and that's fundamentally what we're looking at today. So let's just take one of these, for example, web-na demo Bridgeway's demo.bridgeways.com has failed to connect to the computer. So we'll open that up. Someone's already created a change management for this one. That's not a good one to pick on. Let's pick another one. Or someone had created a ticket for that, sorry. So we can see here that SQL Server demo1 at demo.bridgeways.com, it's got a heartbeat failure. Our client has picked that up because our client can see this portal, if you could imagine that, and they want to communicate that to us for us to go and do some action. You could have a quick look at the knowledge base article for that to say, you know, here's various different solutions. But let's just imagine we don't know what to do, so we're going to raise a ticket. So I press the button here for raise a ticket. There are other buttons here. I'll just quickly explain those. We have enable and disable. In SCOM, this would sort of manifest itself as an override that I don't want to see this alert anymore, and you would click the enable disable, or I could just close the alert. If I do disable or enable, if you look on the right hand side in the blue here, you'll see disabled alerts, and I could go right back there and re-able it as well. And kind of where it gets complex, I'll just quickly click it, is that we can do this against a particular computer, a particular company, or multiple companies. I've only got one company set up in our Bridgeways environment, but I could disable that for Simon's or eView, but that could be an exponential list of whichever company. So I could say I just want to disable it for a particular company. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a ticket. So I press the create a ticket, and it will generate a ticket for us. What we've tried to do inside Tibanna is make it a fluid transaction. So when we click a ticket, it then takes us to the ticket. And from here, I have the information that I need. I also have a ticket number, And if I was to go into the computer section, I find the computer, it will say it's generated an additional ticket, and I could view the tickets that way. I could assign it to someone if I wanted to, who is in the role as an engineer. I will quickly go over users in a second so you can get some context there. And then I would hit that email, and allocate it. Then it will send them an email to say, hey guys, you've got to go and do something. Now, the bit that I really want to get across in the presentation is that I need to make a change. I need to go through a change management process. So let me create a change management issue. So what this is actually doing is it's taking the information from the alert, it's taking the information from the ticket, and it's now creating a plan for us of what we need to do. So I can see that the source ticket was TI50, and as you can see, that's a hyperlink, and that will take me back to my ticket. It's created a CM, so change management 7, so it's incremental numbers. And I can see that it was requested by me, internal BW Global Admin, at a particular time. And we're at a state of requested. Now I've got some buttons here, approve, reject, and abandon. So let's just give those a little bit of context where they come from. If I go to my user section, and then I look up the user that I logged on as, which was the internal global admin, I can go into the edit roles, and I can see that, in fact, I'm an administrator, an approver, an assigner, client engineer, global admin, observer. In fact, I'm pretty much everything but a signatory. So if I was to uncheck some of these, let's just uncheck that one, and that one, and then I'll go and save that. Then I'll go back to my change management. I think it was CR7. Now actually you see less options. I can't approve, but I can abandon. So the permissions, which is only available if you're an internal administrator, will so you can dictate who can approve, who can be the requester of a ticket. So let's just put this into a context of how we, or one example, how we see this happening or working out for an MSP. You're monitoring computers at a company X. The alerts are coming into Tibanna. You can have your own instance of Tibanna or your own, as I say, it's multi. So you could just log on to the full global site and only see your own companies and your own clients. So then a client could raise a ticket for you and say, I need to go and, I don't know how to fix this. Could you please have a look at this? So you as a company will actually get quite a bit more information, because you'll be getting the alert that was basically generated by SCOM, and you have the knowledge base, so you have that additional information. Now, although this isn't probably the best alert, but let's just imagine we're running out of disk space or something or other. I need to create a plan of what I'm going to do to resolve that, which is part of our change management process. So let's go through that process. So in my plan, I will say what my implementation plan is. So then this will go and create an area for me to add what my implementation plan is. So we'll stick on the fact that this one hasn't got a heartbeat. So I will go and check that it has power, for example. So then I can click done, and that's going to be part of my implementation plan. Obviously, you can write a lot more information. Then if I go back to my add a plan, I can see that my implementation plan has now gone from the list, and I'm now onto my risk assessment, because these are the options that I haven't completed as of yet. So let me go to my risk assessment, and my risk assessment could be that there is a power cut, for example. Okay, so I press done, and now I have whatever my risk assessment was going to be, what my test plan is, and then finally I could work out what my get out plan would be for that. So I can't think of what a get out plan would be for this particular scenario. So I don't think anyone would accept that, but we'll use that for the moment. So now I've got my plans, I've got my implementation plan, I've got my risk assessment plan, I've got my test plan, I've got my back out plan. Now what I need to do is add some milestones in there. So let me add a milestone. So my first milestone is going to be that I will okay, I could give that a date. I could have changed the date on that if I wanted to. It would have given me a dropout. Then I could write in a description in there, yada, yada, yada. Press done. Definitely got, someone noticed this earlier on, I've definitely got my font set up incorrectly because it definitely doesn't do that. I could add another milestone in there. As I say, I could have a drop-down calendar and add another milestone in there to say something like whatever. So as you can see, I could build out my milestones here. Okay, now I don't have the permission to do anything with this. So what I'll do is I will save that. I've now, in my timeline, it hasn't been approved or assigned, but it has got what I intend to do. So my timeline has already started. I can already see that on the 2nd of April that I have to go and buy a plug, and I've already got my timeline formulating inside Tibanna. So now let me go back to the users. I select my user. And let me add some additional rights back in so I can now approve this. So I'll save that. I'll go back to my change management. So now hopefully I will see another button appear. There we go. I could reject it. So I could send that back and say, actually, this plan isn't really good enough. Go and rethink about it. Or I could just approve that and say, okay, go ahead and do that. So then I approve. That it's what it's actually doing is in the background. It's also alerting mid-01 of what changes are going on and why we need, what the plan is. So there we go. It's been requested by me. It's been approved by me. My timeline has changed now. And now I can go back into my users and add in as an assigner, change the roles, back to my change management. And now I have a new function has appeared, and it's assign to. So I could say I'm going to assign that to Simon Skinner at Bridgeways. I will open up my email. Hopefully we'll get that. So now it's generating an email with everything that's on this plan for us, and it's going to email that out to me, so I know what I need to go and do. So while my email is opening, now I could unassign that, but we're picking up it's been approved by, it's been assigned by, it's been assigned to. So I'm building up my information as we go along. I've just opened up my email now, so I should just get that email in a second. There we go. I'll just open that up and share it with you. Kikoki, there's the email. A change request has been assigned. Congratulations, as if you'll be really happy about getting that. And any notification, milestones, plans, etc., are already laid out on your email. So I could basically go ahead and start to do that. So let me go back to my users. I need to add in another permission. I want to have the signatory. Let me go back to my change management, open up my mail. Now I could unassign that. Once that's actually now in a state of progress. Once the whole process has been completed off, I can close that ticket down. Then I can send that off to my my signatory, who can then say, okay, I need you to go and validate what I've done. Obviously that won't sign off until we've passed this date of the 2nd of April. It won't give me the option to close that because we haven't met all of our milestones. However, the signatory would then be able to go back and double check on everything, close down our ticket. The state of progress would then change to being completed, and then it would go back and close our ticket. So in summary, our agents find out what the problem is, raises the alert. The alert can be created into a ticket, the ticket into a full change management system where we can follow through what needs to be done. Now the approver could potentially be your client. So you're saying what you're going to do to a client's machine, and your client is the approver. So they could say, oh yeah, actually that makes sense. I understand what you're going to do. It's all pretty clear to me. It's very professionally laid out. Actually those dates aren't going to work for me. So I'm going to reject that and ask you to change the dates. And then you have in effect like this change management written contract with your clients of what's going to be done on what times, and everyone's agreed. They've approved it. If they're the approver and you're not, then it can only be approved by them. So to advance, it can only be with their go ahead. So you can then start working with confidence. So that's really, in essence, what I wanted to get across today for this particular webinar. I'm going to give you a very cheeky preview of something else that we're working on at the moment. Now, in the continued involvement of what we're trying to do within Tibanna, and you would have seen on previous webinars, or I believe they make these recordings available, or you can, I think, at least request them. You will see that there's things like run as accounts, or how companies' billings, etc., work. But what we're mustering up in our division of engineers at the moment, in our beta version, is something called checks, and I just really want to get 30 seconds on this. So ultimately, SCOM or Tibanna is relying on a management pack. It's relying on the fact that a management pack is imported and it's going off and doing something. Clearly see that this isn't in our live environment, and it takes quite a while to, there we go. So on a check, I could, it does have a timeout, which is quite good. In a check, what I could do is, let me go for a new check. Why not? That one's one that's already been filled out, so let me go for a new check. I could say that I'm looking for a website, or a service state check, or a performance threshold, for example. So then I would write in what my check name was going to be. I'll write in my service, whatever the service is. logon.exe, whatever the state is, if it's running, stopped or pending, whatever the interval of the check is, assign the computers that I want to make that check to, submit that, and it will go and do those checks for you without having to have a management pack. And as I say, that could be a website, a service check, or a performance threshold. And we're now working on more tools, more checks that can be added on. So that's just a real sneak preview. It's not out yet, but it's definitely one of the things we'll be talking about shortly. So what I'll do is I'll hand back over to Hayley, who will just conclude this meeting, and hopefully it's been beneficial to you. Contact Hayley directly on hayley.simpson@bridgeways.com, or if you want, you could do it to simon.skinner@bridgeways.com for more technical questions, but really make your point of call to be Hayley. So I'll pass you over to Hayley right.
Hello everyone, as Simon said, I hope you've all found the Tibanna demoing useful today. Again, if you do have any questions, do send me an email at hayley.simpson@bridgeways.com. If you've got any questions, yeah, send those there. Sorry, got a bit distracted. But that's it from myself and Simon today. We have a good day and we look forward to hearing from you soon.